almost about 70% of this budget 2025 is created in Edo State.
1 minute. Court order, please. Point of order.
Mr. Chairman, the essence of it is that we cannot be here elected by the constituents and speak on this budget.
I read everything. I don't believe in talking, I believe in reading. And I'm evidence-based. Mr. Minister, tell us why most of this 2024 budget is situated in Edo State.
Thank you very much.
Right, because we have to be mindful that we have a press amongst us. I think what we should do now is to adopt the 2024 appraisal and then go into executive section. We will go into executive section later. Gentlemen, please, I appeal. That's it. Please, so let's 1 minute. Yeah, let us go into executive. We will go into executive section. By that time, we ask the president to leave us. So please, that's my please.
Thank you very much. We are not adopting it yet. Okay? We'll discuss it. Executive session, fine. So any other question?
Executive session.
Okay, fine. Please, can you excuse us between that thing?
No. But
let's finish.
There is something that will lead us to executive session.
We have that is it for the
This is not the budget proposal.
This is not already contradicting the law already. It's 2025.
Okay, as we speak, so we are going to pick it one after the other. So please, all your questions, just put them down. Then we go now to 2025 budget defense now, presentation.
Budget. A summarized outline of the budget envelope for the ministry for 2025 has a ceiling of 28.9 billion, which is made up of capital expenditure of 24 billion, recurrent 1.6, and personnel expenditure 2.7. Distinguished chairman, distinguished senators, and honorable members, you may wish to note that the preparation of 2025 budget for the ministry is one of the most difficult tasks the ministry has been faced with in the recent times. This is more so in respect of the expansion of scope, mandate, inadequate allocations, and increased level of outstanding liabilities that has affected ongoing programs of the ministry across the region. In spite of the limited 3 days given to submit proposals, the 2025 budget envelope still reflects that of the Ministry of Niger Delta Development instead of the 6 regions. Nevertheless, the 2025 budget makes provision of about 2 billion naira youth and women empowerment and capacity building programs across all the regions, about 1 billion for livelihood support initiatives across the region, and about 600 million provided for medical outreach programs for rural communities across the regions, and a few other specific provisions cutting across states outside the Niger Delta region. The meager capital budgeting ceiling in the sum of 24 billion demanded that the ministry was constrained not only to apply judicious use of its funds, but specifically introduce certain parameters to guide it in the selection of its 2025 programs and projects, among others, which were stepping down projects with low levels of completion, completion of projects, programs that are ongoing, inclusion of projects that upon completion would have highest impact, and 4, reduction of the high incidence of abandoned projects of the ministry, and also finally emphasis on human capital development, job creation, and social protection related programs. However, Mr. Chairman, the ministry would want to emphasize that all its programs projects are vital and very critical to the realization of its mandate. Nevertheless, we have to call to play the principle of foregone alternatives in this circumstance, which I believe the committee will be gracious to understand, especially the constraints and circumstances that the ministry faced in the preparation of this budget. Our prayer, distinguished chairman, distinguished members, arising from the building budgetary allocation and the increasing level of outstanding liabilities, we are not resting on our oars as we are pushing further to request for adequate funding to enable the ministry take off as ministry in charge of the regions, of the 6 regions. Consequent upon this, we wish to solicit your support for additional funding to enable the ministry deliver on Mr. President's mandate for regional development. Furthermore, the ministry is desirous of working and giving maximum cooperation to these distinguished committees to achieve an acceptable and workable 2025 budget, which is second budget of the present administration. Once again, I wish to express the ministry's sincere appreciation for the opportunity given us to present our 2024 budget performance and 2024-5 budget defense. Thanks for your cooperation and God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Ministers, my name is Comrade Chinedu Oga, OM. I represent Igbo and the South Federal Constituency. Honorable Minister, I'm very glad that you're a product of National Assembly. But I want to bring to your notice that I personally and my constituency is not happy with this constitution, with this budget. This budget have contravened the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. As amended 99, it contravened the federal character. Almost about 70% of this budget 2025 is created in Edo State.
1 minute. Court order, please. Point of order.
Mr. Chairman, the essence of it is that we cannot be here elected by the constituents and speak on this budget. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
With you, under your kind permission, that the press around amongst us should leave us so that we can be in the executive session. Please, we want to go to executive.
Is 1.1 billion. In respect of a personnel, of course, we don't see the money. I think all the staff and everybody have been paid in relation to what was presented to us. The performance in relation to funds released is 100%, 100%, 100%. That is to say that of the little percentage that was released, everything was expended. The challenges of the 2024 budget. The 2024 budgetary allocation in the sum of 23.336 billion was considered very meager and significantly inadequate in the face of the mandate and goals of the then ministry to meet the yearnings and aspirations of the region, Niger Delta region. This grossly inadequate funding and dwindling budgetary allocation has over the year led to the following. 1. Plethora of abandoned and uncompleted projects. 2. Positing of funds that may lead to derailment of the programs of engagement of youth and women of the regions. 3. Poor performance and protracted delay in project delivery due to astronomical variation, augmentation of some of the ongoing projects. In fact, this is where not only our ministry, in terms of capital project these days, we have a lot of challenges. To the extent that by the time we took over, the first assignment I gave to the infrastructural developments to go around to give us details of ongoing projects. But it's quite amazing if I let you know that even projects that had a balance of about 5 billion, 2 billion to complete, by the time they brought proposal, they run into 50 billion, 70 billion. At the end of the day, we ask ourselves, how do we go? How do we go over this? How will we be able to come over this? So that has been the greatest challenge now in terms of execution of project. To the extent that the contractor, they refuse to go to site, and they will tell you before they can go to site you have to pay them what they are owing. So it's a serious challenge. So I think that has been the situation as far as 2024 budget performance is concerned. So if you want me to stop, I will stop. If I have to go further, to go through the 2025 edition, then
no, 24 first. 24 first.
Let's adopt 24.
Yes, I think
Let's adopt
that is about 2024. And details of what I've just read are contained in this booklet in terms of the releases and how expended. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
I would like to have that. It is with great pleasure and a profound sense of purpose that I welcome you all to the joint session of the Senate and the House Committees on Regional Development. The transformation of the former Ministry of Niger Delta Development into the Ministry of Regional Development is a landmark decision that reflects the federal government's commitment to inclusive and sustainable national development. The broader mandate is a bold and strategic steps towards addressing the diverse and development needs of all regions across our great nation, while still retaining a firm focus on the peculiar challenges faced by the Niger Delta region. The creation of the Ministry of Regional Development is a recognition that development must not be restricted to one region alone, but should span the length and breadth of the country. It is a commitment to ensuring that no community, regardless of its size or location, is left behind in our national development agenda. The broader scope of the ministry now encompasses a holistic approach to regional growth, focusing on addressing inequalities, fostering economic development and empowerment, and developing critical infrastructure across multiple regions. While the Niger Delta remains a central to its operations due to historical and economic significance, the ministry now serves as a beacon of hope for other regions facing similar development challenges. As we convey here today for the 2025 budget proposals, it is necessary we know the status of the performance and implementation of the 2024 budget of the ministry, notwithstanding that the 2024 budget cycle has been extended to June 2025. The committee must be informed of the levels of the percentage of implementation of the 2024 appropriation. However, for the 2025 budget defense, it is imperative that we critically evaluate the ministry's proposal to ensure that its new mandate is reflected in its priorities and programs. The budget should lay the foundation of impactful projects that will drive even development nationwide. I commend the leadership and staff of the Ministry of Regional Development for embracing this expanded role with determination and vision. Distinguished colleagues, as we deliberate on the 2025 budgets, let us do so with the understanding that the decisions we make here will reform the future of our nation's development. Let us ensure that this budget sets the ministry on the path to achieving its goals of equitable development, economic inclusion, and national unity. Once again, I welcome you all to this important session. Let us approach our discussions with diligence, integrity, and a shared vision for a more prosperous and united Nigeria. Thank you, and may our deliberation today be fruitful and impactful. Thank you very much.
Honorable Eugene Okechukwu Debiago, at the joint budget defense meeting of the House and Senate Committees on Regional Development with the Ministry of Regional Development held on Tuesday, 21st January 2025 at Senate Hearing Room, National Assembly Complex, Abuja. The Senate Committee Chairman and deputies, each and every one of you, to this 2024 budget performance and 2025 budget defense meeting for Ministry of Regional Development. You will recall that on Wednesday, 18th December 2024, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented the 2025 budget proposal to a joint sitting of the National Assembly. Subsequently, on Thursday, 19 December 2024, both chambers of the National Assembly concluded debate on the general principles of the appropriation bill and referred it to standing committees for further legislative action. This joint interactive section is in line with constitutional and statutory parliamentary procedures, which requires ministries, departments, and agencies to brief the National Assembly on the performance and level of implementation of the 2024 budget and also defense of the 2025 budget proposal as presented by Mr. President as it affects them. I would like to use this opportunity to commend Mr. President for his foresight and magnanimity in creating the Ministry of Regional Development. This is a strategic move that will no doubt boost regional development and bring about the growth and development of the entire country uniformly. However, as I have repeatedly pointed out, the only way this ministry can make meaningful headway in terms of achieving its mission and objectives is if it is adequately funded. Furthermore, there must be equal and proportionate distribution of projects across the various zones. A worrisome development is a situation where some zones or even states benefit more than others. This will no doubt cause disaffection and will be counterproductive to the vision of Mr. President in creating the Ministry of Regional Development. I would therefore like to urge the honorable ministers to collaborate with the National Assembly towards ensuring adequate funding for the ministry, so to impact on all zones of the country. I can assure you that the Senate and House Committees on Regional Development will give you all the needed support to ensure that you succeed. Once again, I welcome you all to this budget defense meeting, and I wish us fruitful deliberations. Thank you, and once again, welcome. God bless.